What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Solo Games here, and I have Mr.
Nicolas Ortiz.
And once again, congrats. This is YCS Charlotte, the very first in-person YCS in so long. First off, tell me how'd you feel about this event?
Going into the event, I was really dissatisfied with the format. I was like, I'm really not carrying this deck, this entire format. So I'm just gonna play Thunder. I don't need to play base cards, all that fun stuff. So going into it, I'm just gonna have a good time. And I just kept winning, so I was like, okay.
Hey, it all worked out. And just quick shout-outs.
Yeah, shout-outs to Midwest Gaming. Shout-outs to my captain, Brian, for helping as well. Shout-outs to everyone in the Tampa crew, everyone who drove up with me, Javi, Ryan, who just lost in top 4, unfortunately, and Sebastian Sanchez, all the other Tampa guys, all the Gainesville guys, too. Shout-outs to all of them.
Thank you. So, you played Flunder. Yes. You said no combo, no thinking. Summon bird go.
Yeah, caw.
Let's get right into it.
All right, I got top 16 by the way.
Oh, yes you did.
Yeah. So it's 8 birds, 3 robin, 3 eaglin, 1 chicken streak. That's the perfect ratio, honestly. 2 street, I go back and forth on sometimes, but it's only really good when you have Advent to keep playing. If you don't have Advent, then these cards just don't really do much in your hand. So you don't really want to critical mass of these because Robin basically is all of them at once. So 8 was just a good number. And then we're playing 4 tribute summons. I've always been back and forth on Avion, just because it's only really good in a situation where you're already winning. But the thing that makes me keep playing this deck, and this card in particular, is it increases your chance of winning from 85% to 100% on various games. Just make sure that you're not losing games that you win. And then Rise of Standard, and then Edmund's Broken. It's a extender, it's basically a starter, it's a floodgate, you can't really kill it. It's just a really powerful card.
That card is not even once per turn as well.
Once per turn? Yeah, especially if you have all 4 bird access to you, you can summon double N-Pin, double search, just get everything set up.
That's crazy.
And the 1 berry statue. This card's just Exodia. This, it forces your opponent normal summon to out this card, unless they have different rider, and if you have map up, then you can just sweep them, and then they can't do anything because of this card. This card's broken. Speaking of broken, 3 Exodia. You see this card, you win the game. I think there's one time today where I saw this card and I lost. This card is basically mid-breaker fields on your turn. Your opponent can't Valor you, Imperm you, Ogre you, Droll you. You can do any of those fun cards. So you really only lose Ash and Imperm. And during your opponent's turn, if you lose the roll and they summon a kid or whatever and you start doing your plays, you shift it and they pass. So it's really broken in that area. And then 3 copies of Ash. Ryan and I were fighting on this card. He was playing Featherstorm, and Ash is a good card. There are situations where if your opponent's hand is average or below average, having Ash in your hand ensures that you're playing, versus if you're not having Ash in your deck, you're kind of conceding the games where your opponent opens okay to bad, where Ash ensures that if your opponent doesn't open super optimal, right Kid, if it's just Kid or if it's just Enchantress, you're going to be able to play and beat your opponent.
And especially steal those really bad hands Fusion Destiny, Ash. Yeah, that's
Ash,
a pass.
Yeah, or if it's just normal Kid and you Ash, and they need a Souls to make Anaconda, if that. Onto the spells. We got the 7 Flunder cards. Map's Broken, lets you infinitely summon, basically. Gets you access to your entire deck. This is basically just 3 more copies of Map. Any bird that you need, 6 Rabinas, 6 Eaglins. This is your end all be all outs and everything. It also draws back too, so if you have in the late game all 5 birds in your hand, you put 2 back, draw 2 new cards. It's insane. 3 filter cards, 3 frost, 3 duality, just to special summon, so you don't use the extra deck. The Dark Ruler. There are games where you don't open Shifter and you don't open Ash, so Dark Ruler basically just enables you to have another kind of turn board off God card against your opponent. This deck can play through 1 interruption usually, but when it gets to 2 or 3 going second, it's really hard to do to play through those boards. So Dark Ruler helps that. So if you Dark Ruler and you have a bird and a Book of Moon or Advent, you can usually just play through any board your opponent makes. 2 book. These kind of fulfill the same role, so you don't really need to play 3 copies of this card. But this card's really good at protecting barrier statue when they try to summon something to attack over it, and it's good for chain blocking too. And it's really good to just bait disruption. It's basically Imper. Terra and Mine. Mine's just a god card. It's like Plan C. Like if your shifter doesn't work and your birds don't work, you just sit on mine, and you're able to manipulate the monsters on your field a lot, whether it's through Advent Banish. So you're always able to make mine live and turn off when you need it to. And the one trap.
Can't forget the Dream in Town.
Cannot forget the bust card. Side deck, 3 Gamma Driver. This is like the one blowout hand trap I wanted to add to my deck. Opening this shifter plus shifter makes it so you don't have unclear situations where sometimes you'll have Ash shifter and you don't shotgun shifter. So if they like Enchantress on draw phase, or I'm sorry, main phase, you can't really Ash it because your shifter's off. So you have to let it resolve. But if you have Gamma shifter, that situation doesn't happen. Plus, Gamma's really good in the mirror match, and it's really good against just any deck where they lose to Ash, because this is just basically Ash, like worst case scenario. Like maybe it's like Gamma Kid is just broken. And one Crow just as an option to search off Rabina if you have all the other birds. And spell cards, 1 Mine, 1 Call By, Feather Duster, and 2 Twins. This is for back removal. Mine is for like when you need it, when matchups where mine needs to be your plan A instead of your B or your C. You want to add more cards into your deck that like turn off your opponent's board or get to that end goal of mine. And Call By, I wanted Call By in the main or the side somewhere because you need a beat to roll or Lancia. And I just found that like Call By isn't particularly good in the main deck going first. But going forward, I might add this card to my main deck. I don't know exactly what I would take out, but this card always came in games 2 and 3 pretty much. And then 5 god cards.
Oh god.
This card says you win the game if you're going first. So even if your hand's like kind of bad, you go like Emp and pass, or even like Eagle and pass. Like this card says your opponent can't play the game. So yeah, play this card if you can. This card's broken. An extra deck. 1 Kugari, because we're always topping with Sky Striker cards. I literally cannot make this card, but it's pretty. So that's why it's in there. These cards are the only 3 that matter. I didn't make them today. I didn't make anything in my extra deck today, but these come up sometimes. Irrelevant cards, more relevant cards. Alrighty, so we're playing a bunch of irrelevant Exceed monsters that are never made, but can sometimes come up. This Link one that sometimes comes. This never happens. Never happens, and then Christmas package. And I didn't play a single dogmatic deck.
So just having all those cards, just a quick, why not cherries?
So I found cherries to sound a lot better in theory than it actually is in practicality. It's very bad against base, and very bad against Source Ultini. It's good against pranks, don't get me wrong, but you're neg one-ing yourself. If your opponent has any form of extender like Souls, they're still making DBE, and it's not good past turn 1. Where it's like drawing into an Ash off of like unexplored winds, or seeing it off like Prosperity Duality happens a lot, and that's really good in that scenario. Where it's like cherries, it's like it's only really good on the first turn against certain matchups, and that I just didn't feel that was important enough to play it.
Okay. Thank you for that. Once again, congratulations on your top 16. We watched you had a really rough matchup against Andres.
Yeah,
I think like
the Ash.
that was a very deciding game because like you and all these fiends with the sheesh on there. But yeah, it probably would have. It was a big deciding factor. But once again, congrats and thank you very much, and shout out to Middle Gaming.
Yes, thank you.